Hello, I just decided to do another update. Well, there's been a little bit going on, some health updates. I ended up peeing blood from taking too much aspirin, which was stupid. And I only took it because I was getting these excruciating headaches. And some of my other medicine causes stomach bleeds with certain painkillers. And so I got this special screen for my computer in case it was my computer, and then it turned out to be more than that. So I took some ibuprofen, which could cause stomach bleeding, but I hope that's not too bad because I can't take these headaches. If anybody has a suggestion, let me know. I hate my doctor. Okay, well, hallucination wise, I want to say that I just keep having people like on my peripheral vision. I'll see a person and it'll go into my brain as a person, and then it'll just shoot colors and disappear, which was kind of frustrating. I got Jesus in the parking lot a couple months ago, and it was just, I guess I was thinking about Jesus and one of the guys. So don't think I'm like holy or anything. I'm closer to a Muslim than a Christian. I don't claim any faith. I believe that God is universal and speaks through many tongues. So I don't think that I'm getting a special message from Jesus like people do in the toast. I've been reading a lot of science material because my brain hasn't been able to be as abstract as I would like it to be. I have fun with the science material for laymen. I know that a few of you who know me know that I just love layman science books. My parents were both science teachers growing up, and I loved listening to my mom lecture about biology, anatomy and physiology, and nutrition. My stepdad did more of the biology stuff, but I did well in school in biology and that because I had heard it all my life. Upcoming, I'm going to start reading stories aloud. On here, they're flash fiction. They're short. I don't want to, stretch anyone's attention span, because you've got other things to be addicted to than me, and you're going to be bored and then not listen to me like everyone else. I have to beg people to read my stuff, man. It's not good, but I like it because it gives me something to do, and it helps me with recall, which if you remember my IQ test, I have a hard time with that. It's impaired, but that means that I can still do some of it. That doesn't mean, as long as I'm impaired and not dead, there's still possibility for growth. I might do some poetry readings, and I figured if I could get enough of a group there that I would see if anybody else was interested in reading poems, like maybe a live stream or something, or somehow tagging. And last, I want to talk about the Communist Takeover of Hollywood. Basically, we have a lot of young stars that are advocating communism now and kind of like a revolution, and they want to take power. I'm sure they'll be dismantled before it happens, but it's just kind of bad. In the old days, if you said you were a communist and you were in Hollywood, then you got blacklisted, but these guys have been allowed to run around on their ropes for too long, and it's time to reel them in. I don't like any extreme government, and communism is kind of like extreme. A little bit of socialism and a little bit of capitalism in the right mix, like mixed markets and other things that I don't really know about. But I know that basically, if you're going to be extreme in something, people can't follow it because there's so much variety in civilization, in society. We can't all be mothers or all be married or all work at Walmart before we get a CEO position. Some people are luckier than others. You just can't be like one or another. And I'm really bad at economics, which is another reason why I said that. Anything that deals with thinking and math, like statistics or like algebra or like having to do something, is really hard for me these days. Even it was pretty bad when I was younger, but then it got worse as I got older, especially after the military when the Cuba thing happened, and then in my kind of like flight since then. I will say that I was talking to myself earlier about this, but I think that they should stop putting people in like algebra and geometry unless they're going on a math track. And they should do the geometry kind of in a plainer way in middle school, and a little bit of algebra kind of mixed in with that, like one semester of each. But I think when you get to high school, they should have life skill math, business math, and then a regular track math for people who are going to go into engineering and the sciences. Because I'm slow, so I did bad at everything. My teachers were pretty much like, oh, we get to teach the slow folks again, so there's no point in the universe. We'll watch videos or we'll color, stuff like that. And that's just a waste of taxpayers' money, and it is also hurting us. Because I went to a more affluent school, and so I had better teachers, even though I'm brain dead. And how to explain that, when they could have been teaching poorer people, like better teachers in the poorer districts to teach, what do you call it, at-risk children, like, who do have the ability to do, like, math and science to a higher degree. The way we've done our public education system is a total mess, and it's ridiculous. And everyone's always like, well, my teachers were like, well, you're the reason why our scores didn't go well. And I'm like, look, lady, I made average in your class. You want to see my scores? Just because I have an LD does not mean that I can't pass some classes. But I mean, like, and I'm referring to that in English, actually, because in math, it was pretty much like they just gave me a regular grade and they passed me on, and I could do the basic stuff because I knew how to move numbers around. I'm not trying to sound like a liar. There were just additional details that I was trying to think of, and that's why I had to make my list because my memory is pretty bad. So yeah, the communist takeover of Hollywood is evident, and people like Marilyn Manson are going to be like, oh, our confessions will be live on TV, and it's like, I have a YouTube channel, people can laugh at me all day, I've made some really stupid videos, especially when I was sick, and I haven't been as sick lately. I mean, I've had more hallucinations lately, and some memory problems, but I take care of that by, I'm kind of like a night owl and a day person, and sometimes my sleep schedules get messed up, but I wake up at midnight, and until about 5 or 6, I try to learn new science things, and then I wait for a little bit, and I write down everything that I remember from the lesson, and if I remember it like that, I'll go through it a couple days and just keep memorizing it, and I'll do a lot better. Like I said, I had these problems when I was younger, and I shouldn't have even qualified for the Army, but the Army made it worse as I was changed in Cuba, practically drilling on myself, and treated very poorly after that, but we won't get into it. So what do you guys think about Hollywood? Do you think they're really going to make the revolution happen? Do you think Disturbed is going to be like, oh, we're going for evolution now? And do you think that Maria and the Diamonds, or Marinaire, I don't know her name, I can't remember it now, she also sings Modern Dreams and Ancient Land, Ancient Dreams, and I don't know what, but she was talking about how communism was better in capitalism, and it's just like, oh, do you even know what you're talking about? It's like, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but this is kind of obvious, and it shouldn't be happening. Oh, speaking of influences, I think that Placebo should have to get rid of his videos, especially the special need one, because that impacts me as a person. I'm not going to be able to work again. It's pretty much over for me in working unless I got like a 10-hour job as a janitor, but even that would be difficult some days. I'm not going to whine about that. Okay, but anyway, because my mind's blank and sometimes I freak out if I don't have stimulation. That's why I have to listen to music all the time. Sometimes I get cues, sometimes not. But anyway, I don't think Placebo should be able to announce the harming of special individuals because we're already hunted enough in society. They don't separate us. Inclusion is delusion. My only friends are on the internet, and well, maybe the girl across the hall, she's older. We just talk to each other. She buys me sodas sometimes, and I get her salads, which I've been eating a lot more salads, and I've lost about 4 pounds. But this camera is a lot nicer to me than my other camera. Yeah, I spilled a drink on my computer again, so I had to get a new computer, and now I'm banned from ever drinking near the computer. And I've held that to be. Okay, well, I'm going to go. Back to Placebo, just one thing. Okay, I think that on the internet you should be able to express whatever you want to, but I don't think you should be able to call for violence and things without there being consequences. Like I'm not sure what the consequences should be, but with people like Placebo, I think their stuff should just be taken down like a digital massacre. Not because it offends me, but because what he's talking about doing to special individuals will cause a karma reaction to trickle back to me. And people can be criminals. People are going to murder. People are going to kill. There'll never be a perfect society, no matter what they do. So they should just minimize the damage there. I mean, some of us are going to get zapped by their stupid machines, and but they just shouldn't be able to gain an audience or sell their stuff basically to the public and sound like, oh yeah, everyone agrees with this. Don't you know about it? It's like, God dang, no.